Goeienaand. Good evening, fellow South Africans. And what I'm going to be talking about here is an event that reminds me very much of that famous and classic film called Troy. Anyone who's watched the movie, you remember right at the end, the Trojan horse is pulled in by the people of Troy, and in the middle of the night, about 50 very, very highly skilled swordsmen break out of the inside of the large Trojan horse, and they just totally ruin the city. It's quite a classic. Now, the reason I'm drawing that comparison is because China is on the move now in South Africa, and again, it's by stealth. It's the way they operate. And there's a report that's just come out that says that the Zimbabwean government has been drawn into the development of the Makhado-Musina Special Economic Zone. Now, this special economic zone is one of those territories that have been taken from whites or regions or farmlands or game parks or whatever, which have been taken from the whites and basically handed over to the Chinese so they can now develop mines. You know, they can mine for minerals and stuff like that. And they're not doing it for South Africa's interests. They're doing it so they can ship them directly back to China. Let's make that very clear. And what China's done, it's lent South Africa billions of rand to develop these mines. And of course, the beneficiary is not going to be South Africa, but they're left holding the loan, paying off the interest. The beneficiary is China, and that's how they operate. But there are a couple of very interesting points I want to raise about this project, and it shows how China work. The actual developments that are taking place, multi-billion rand, huge developments taking place in the Limpopo region in northern South Africa. What the Chinese have done is, because the Zimbabweans owe them a hell of a lot of money as well, similar type of situation where they've done infrastructure and Chinese are getting the benefits, and the Chinese have been involved in the development. Affirmative action goes out the window when it comes to dealing with China. Okay, so what's happening in South Africa is that they're saying that they're going to let the Africans develop the infrastructure, or some of the infrastructure of this new SEZ zone, or Special Economic Zone, and all the rest, including the buildings and the machinery and the people who actually work in the mines, will be Chinese. Yay, 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 they'll be Chinese. Now, can you imagine if a European country tried to do that? There's no way that would be allowed. These Chinese are smart. You've got to give them that. And it's very, very concerning about what's happening. A week ago, DA leader Muzi Maimane submitted a memorandum to the Limpopo Economic Development Agency, which is LEDA leader, in Polokwane, demanding transparency in the development of the much anticipated SEZ, which is going on behind closed doors. Nobody really knows what the extent of it is. LEDA, which is a leading implementation agent, has a 51% stake in the project, in which 9 Chinese companies will invest 145 billion rand. Yeah, you heard me right, 145 billion rand. In the memorandum, the DA demanded, amongst others, that it make public the terms and conditions of the investment, the plan to build a new power station in the SEZ area, despite it not appearing in the IRP, and the details of the local beneficiation around the project. So what's actually going to happen here is they're going to ship water down from Zimbabwe to actually run these power plants. And the concern the DA have here is, who is actually going to be employed there, because they've seen what's happened in Kenya and in Zimbabwe and other states around Africa. The Chinese employ Chinese to the exclusion of the local indigenous population. So it's going to be a very interesting project to follow. I'm just letting you know that this is now starting to bubble up, what's going on up there in the Limpopo region. You might recall 2 game parks were basically told to get off their property, which is now apparently the land that the Chinese are going to be developing. So it's kind of turf someone off and then bring the Chinese in. Isn't that what you call cutting your throat? Or the Trojan horse, which I think is what it is. Because the Chinese are going to do over South Africa like you won't believe. Anyway, guys, I'll leave that with you. We'll follow the story a bit more as facts come to hand. Please remember to subscribe and have a great day. Have a great evening. Take care.